Tokyo's real estate market is absolutely on fire right now, with prices hitting crazy new highs. But what is really going on? Is this a bubble that's just waiting to pop, or is it the investment opportunity of a lifetime? You know, the headlines can be really confusing, but the data tells a fascinating story. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and give you the 3 key perspectives you absolutely need to understand what's actually happening on the ground. Let's dive in.
So this is the big question, isn't it? The one on everyone's mind. Anytime prices shoot up this fast, you hear that word everywhere, bubble. But what if that's not it at all? What if what we're seeing is something totally different? Something much more fundamental happening under the surface.
And right here, this is the heart of the matter. If you live in Tokyo, you look at these prices and you think, this is insane, it's completely unaffordable. But if you're an investor looking at a map of the world, Tokyo suddenly looks like an incredible deal. It's this tension, this tug of war between the local and the global view that really holds the key to understanding this entire market.
Okay, so first, let's try looking at this through the eyes of a global investor. From that perspective, the whole conversation just flips on its head. The argument isn't that Tokyo is overpriced at all. It's that it's been this undervalued gem for way too long, and now it's finally getting the recognition it deserves on the world stage.
This is the number that is everyone in Tokyo talking. Over 153 million yen for an average new condo in the 23 wards. For most people living there, it's an impossible number, right? It feels completely disconnected from reality. But as we're about to see, for the rest of the world, that very same number tells a completely different story.
And this is where things get really eye-opening. Let's just set Tokyo's high-end property value as our baseline, at 100. Now look at the other major cities. New York is over 50% more expensive. London, we're talking more than double the price. And Hong Kong? Well, Hong Kong is just in another stratosphere. All of a sudden, Tokyo doesn't seem so expensive anymore, does it? It actually looks like a bargain.
So here's the key takeaway from all of this. The market isn't just inflating for no reason, it's correcting. When you think about Tokyo's stability, its quality of life, its economic power, its real estate is really just catching up to where it probably should have been this whole time.
Okay, so if Tokyo is basically just playing catch-up, who are the people driving this price surge? Well, it's not some citywide frenzy. The smart money, it's flowing into very specific, very strategic locations. So let's follow the money and see exactly where it's headed.
It's the most logical question, right? Who are these strategic buyers? Who are the people that see this global value and are actually willing to write those massive checks?
Now, at first glance, if you look at all of Tokyo's 23 wards, the foreign buyer numbers seem pretty tiny. Just 3.5% of new condo sales. But, that's just the headline. The real story, the interesting part, is buried a little deeper.
Because the moment you zoom in on what we call prime Tokyo, those super exclusive central 6 wards with the best views, the best transit, the best everything, that number more than doubles to 7.5%. See, this isn't just a broad investment in Japan. This is a laser-focused bet on the absolute best of the best.
And in some of these hotspots, it's not even a trend anymore, it's an explosion. I mean, just take a key area like Shinjuku. In a single year, the foreign buyer ratio jumped from a tiny 1.7% all the way up to almost 15%. That's not a gradual change, that is a targeted rush, and it's a huge signal that something major is shifting. And if you look at the really high-end, the ultra-luxury market, the picture becomes even clearer. For properties over 200 million yen, foreign buyers aren't just a factor, they're the dominant players. In many cases, they make up more than half of all sales. They're not just buying a place to live, they're buying a safe haven for their capital, a solid, tangible asset in a really uncertain world.
Now, with all this intense international interest, you'd think the government might be getting nervous. And they are, stepping in. But here's the twist. The new regulations they're putting in place, they're not a warning sign. For a serious, long-term investor, they're actually a massive green light.
What the government is really cracking down on is the get-rich-quick crowd. The property flippers who buy and then resell within a year, basically treating real estate like it's a casino. That kind of rapid-fire speculation creates a wild roller coaster of a market, and frankly, the government wants to end that ride for everyone's safety.
The logic here is really simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. First, you put rules in place to stop the short-term flipping. That curbs all the wild speculation. When that happens, you reduce all the crazy price swings, the volatility, and what you're left with is a stable, predictable market that serious investors actually want to be a part of.
So what does this actually mean for you if you're looking at this market for the long haul? It means the game is changing. The gamblers are being shown the door, and that makes the market a much, much safer place for people who are trying to build real, sustainable value. Your risk just went way down.
Okay, so let's pull all these different threads together. We've cut through the headlines, we've dug into the data. What are the essential things you need to remember if you want to understand where Tokyo's property market is headed? It really boils down to 3 main points. Number 1, this isn't a bubble. It's a price correction that's bringing Tokyo in line with other global cities. Number 2, the demand is not random, it's smart money, highly concentrated in those prime Tokyo areas. And number 3, new regulations are clearing out the short-term speculators, which is making the market much healthier and safer for everyone else.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With the speculators being pushed out of the picture, the true underlying value of Tokyo real estate is about to become a lot clearer. The real question is, who's going to be sharp enough to see it first, and who's going to be positioned to benefit from it?
I really hope this deep dive gave you a fresh perspective on what's happening in the Tokyo real estate market. If you found this analysis useful and got some value from it, please do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.